Yo, some people got good friends. At night I live my life right, intense. On the edge, on the wire. I'm from the group where friction leads to fire. Stack your bricks, the time is take your pick. Do it, don't. The track, out the yo, my life is good. I got my peeps in the mix, so
worst come to worst, my peoples come first. I got worldwide family all over the earth, and I worry about them all for whatever it's worth. From the birth to the hearse, through streets the guns burst. Words I disperse are here to free minds, and if mine are needy, I need to feed mine. When worst come to worst,
set up shop and write a verse. Actually, that's best come to best. My lyrics take care of me, they therapy, get shit off my chest. Extra stress, 3-4 over the score. Different patterns of rhyming prepare me for war. So next time you see us, we'll be deadly on tour. When
worst come to worst, my peoples come first.
Word up, if worst comes to worst, I make whole crews disperse. You know it's family first. Gifted unlimited with dilated people. Babu, evidence, Irish science, and a shout out to my man Alchemist on the Trizak.
Worst come to worst, my peoples come first. I'm a glutton for the truth, even though truth hurts. I've studied with my peoples on streets and in church.
Yeah, you're now locked into MIC757. I am your host, Mike Will, Mike Laurie, whichever one you know me by the best. Welcome back to the MIC757 podcast. This episode is called Checked and Chastised at the Same Time. And we're going to get into that. That goes into your story from the life and times of Mike Laurie. But, we got a main topic to get to. There was a little bit of going back and forth a little bit on social media, but not too much. But I think there was some misunderstood information. I'm going to clarify what my intent and what I was saying, and hopefully my friend Keon, if you listen, man, cut this piece out when I get to it, and share that with your friend that was on social media, so he get a bit of better understanding of where I was coming from, and maybe he agree, maybe he don't agree. It is what it is, right? So I gotta apologize right off the top. I sold you short on your shoe verses because I knew I was going to spend a lot of time on this particular topic, and that particular topic is the Super Bowl halftime show. Featuring Kendrick Lamar and Samuel Jackson and everything that went on there. And I know a lot of people have probably already talked about it. But here I'm going to give my little twist, my take on what happened. Of course, we're going to go with your hip hop verses. I did it a little different this time. I will explain what I did so you can understand that. And I might switch it up every now and again. But let's get into these small business owners. I call them sponsors in the beginning up until a certain point where I want to make sure I call them small business owners. And the first one is B3 Cornhole. B3 Cornhole is an online apparel where you can get customized cornhole boards, customized cornhole bags, and a few other items such as, if you out there at a tournament and you want to, these little sleeves for your beer, your bottle beer or your canned beer, they also make this and they customize it any way you want. Also, you can get your customized cornhole bags any which way you want them. Any logo on them, any writing on them, any text, anything you want, B3 Cornhole will take care of that. All right. Ball Hogs. Ball Hogs is also a online apparel shop. I left the one of his main items are creating those wallets for to keep people from stealing your identity, right? And another big seller is slides. So if you're looking for things like that, small gifts for teams, coaches, just a loved one, brawlhogs.com, and you can find that. And one more before I switch over and get into this episode. The Dogfather. The Dogfather is a food truck that's located on Broad Meadows Boulevard and Newtown Road and Virginia Beach Boulevard. Again, Broad Meadows Boulevard and Newtown Road and Virginia Beach. His menu is constantly growing. My man, check him out. He even got his own seasoning, right? He got his own seasoning, man. So look, check my man out. And if you go to him and you tell him MIC757 sent you, you might just get a discount. If you tell, hey, don't hold me to that. You know, hey, Mike, I got out there. He act like he didn't know who you was. Hey, man, he may not. Hey, you know, I'm just joking. But, hey, go see my man, the Dogfather, on Broad Meadow Boulevard and Newtown Road for those that live in VA. All right. All right, look, before I jump into your hip hop verses, right? Sorry. Somebody asked me, Mike, what do you put in your old fashioned? And you know, I was hesitant. I told him, but you know, up here I won't do that because, you know, I'm not being sponsored by that particular company or whatever. But it's probably a mid-shelf bourbon. You probably have it yourself, or you probably seen it on the shelf. But I do make these are old fashions for those that don't know what they are. You know, some of the ingredients I already put in before you see me. And all you see is me really smoke it, right? And then me, I like to double smoke mines. It just changed the flavor content. But I would tell you that I use, the wood chips I use are pecan and oak. And oak and pecan, whichever one you want to see. But yeah, that's how I make my old fashions. You know, that's what I'm drinking up here when you see me go through my little thing. Let's jump into them hip hop verses, man. Like I said, I did it a little different this time. Instead of putting a person against a person, I took the person and just put their songs against one another. And who did I choose? So some of y'all may have have to really Yahoo Music this, or even not Yahoo, but YouTube Music this. And listen to these tracks, man. But first up, we're gonna go with I'm pretty sure everybody know this group, but Bone Thugs, right? And we're going with Thuggish Ruggish Bone or First of the Month. Tell me which one you got. All right, tell me which one you got. Leave it in the comments, right? All right, next person. I really reached back for this one. Some people don't even know this dude was probably a rapper, but Ice-T. And I really reached back to I'm Your Pusher or New Jack Hustler, right? So some people gonna be like, okay, Mike, all right, you kind of went way back on that one, but man, you putting Ice-T against Ice-T, that's kind of cold blooded. But hey, just trying to make it interesting, you know, keep it fresh up here. All right, but I think there's gonna be a hard one. I haven't even made a choice on that one yet. Even going through and I listened to the songs and I went back and I listened to this one, then I went back listened to New Jack. Then I'm thinking about New Jack City. Then I was thinking about, man, I'm Your Pusher, and then you gotta hear that, man. Everybody sample. You gotta listen to the song to know what part I'm talking about that people sample. And it's probably in some 80s or 70s movies, but yeah, is a nice little chorus in there. But last but not least, these are I don't know what category to really put them in, but Digital Planets, right? Cool Like That and A Nickel Bag of Funk. And I know a lot of hip-hop heads is going to be like, whoa, hold up, Mike, man. I ain't heard that song in years. Ain't me neither. I really had to go back, and I was like, yo, I'm about to pull something out the hat, man, because I said I might have to trick them up on this one. This one, y'all, you know, those two songs that Cool Like That and A Nickel Bag of Funk, man, that group was outstanding, man. That Digital Planets was outstanding. And I know they fall into that group of like leaders of the new school, probably. Was it KMD, Poor Righteous Teachers, you know, and those guys, man. Even Dilated Peoples. The intro, if you didn't know, you know, you got to go and listen to that, the intro and the outro songs, right? Listen to those joints, man. They should all take you back. You know, man, that's the idea, you know, put you back maybe not to say you ain't comfortable now, but a good hip hop space. You know what I mean? And that's going to lead into this main topic too. When I say good hip hop space, all right. So, like I said, I slipped on your hip hop. I mean your shoe verses. You know what I mean? So I double up on those shoe verses and hit them real hard and try to make them real. Like man, really scratching your head on these, man. And yeah. All right. So let's knock out one more sponsor. I got two more right now. Like I said, I'm gonna add two, but I gotta get they stuff. But CNC Luxury Car Wash. CNC Luxury Car Wash is located on Pondexter and Liberty Street in Chesapeake, Virginia. Again, Pondexter and Liberty Street, you'll find a car wash by the name of CNC Luxury Car Wash. Hey, you can get you. Hey, my man say if it ain't raining, snowing, he gonna be out there. If it's cold, he's still gonna be out there washing and detailing cars. Man, he out there to get that money. CNC Luxury Car Wash. And I believe, don't want to misspeak, but I believe Wednesdays are senior citizens days and they get a discount. Your senior citizens get a discount on Wednesdays. So, hey, take them down there and see CNC Luxury Car Wash. And again, tell them MIC757 sent you and you might get a discount. All right, let's jump right into this. And that is before I get into that, we all know that the NBA has lost a lot of viewers or whatever you want to call it, ratings or whatever. But I thought the new NBA All-Star weekend setup was pretty cool, right? It was pretty cool. But excuse me for a second. But I can't skip over something that Draymond Green said. And I but I agreed with Draymond Green said. And for those that didn't know what Draymond Green said, he simply said, I bust my ass all year to play on Sunday. I bust my ass all year to play on Sunday. And I was like, wow. To me, that was a very strong statement of some ways of what the NBA has done or become. Very, very easygoing. I don't want to bash the NBA because I like basketball. Anybody that know me know I really like and enjoy basketball. I like watching it. I'm a big college fan of basketball. But I did tend to think that what he said, and I think in my interpretation what he was saying was that, the NBA has watered down being an all-star if you allow everybody to participate. I don't know if that was the intent. I don't know. But I get what he was saying about it. If you didn't make all-star team or selection, then hey man, you come root the stars of the stars, right? And hey, next year you bust your ass harder so you could be amongst the stars of the stars. You know what I'm saying? The pros pro is what I believe they used to call it. And it was a big thing to be a NBA All-Star, to make it one time in your career, let alone multiple times. So I understood what he was. To me, I understood what he was getting at. You know what I mean? And I've said a few things about how I think the NBA has catered to European players. That's just my opinion. But moving on. Let's halftime show, right? So my friend Keon, he made a post and said, rate the Super Bowl performance, right? Now, again, this is Mike's explanation of why I rated it. I told him solid 3 out of 10. And some of the people in his comments like, are you out your mind? No, absolutely not. But I guess I look at things a little different, right? So, okay, let's start. Everybody gonna joke because I did make a joke on social media that my man had on bell bottoms. You know what I mean? And people found that funny. I found it funny. So, but that wasn't part of the reason why I gave it a 3 out of 10. And I'm gonna break it down. You know, when he first came on, I am the right at the wrong time. You know, and he started it first. I could barely hear anything. I don't really listen to Kendrick Lamar like that. So I didn't even understand what he was saying. Right now, we all saw the protest coming, especially when you have Samuel Jackson playing Uncle Sam. We all know we missed that. So that was not to be missed. That wasn't missed, right? Now, one of the comments was made that, oh, all y'all guys want to see is something sexy, sexist, or demonic. Like, hold up, bro. You talking to the wrong person. Because I ain't trying to see neither one of that weirdo stuff. You know what I mean? So you really don't know how to read the room. You know what I mean? So when what I was saying was, the reason why you get a 3 out of 10, right? For forever, however long I ever heard this, we always say the revolution would not be televised. Well, we was on the biggest platform that was probably being shown worldwide. If not, it was shown from coast to coast, East Coast, West Coast, North to South. It was broadcast and millions of people were watching it. So for us to keep saying the revolution will not be televised, we televising it, right? And he hasn't been the only one, right? So I kind of knocked it a little bit for that because we keep saying that, right? Okay, right? Maybe I'm missing something, right? So, okay. Now, here's where it went from maybe a solid 7 out of 10 to maybe a 6 out of 10 to where I got down to a 3 out of 10, right? Like I said, and I told them, anybody I had this conversation, the message was received, but the message has been said and repeated. We had the Beyonce protest show that happened, right? Here's where I say, you know, we knock it. I knock it down just a little bit because, in my opinion, we've done that. You know, we're doing it on TV now, but we used to, you know, protest. Our ancestors, you know, people protested on the streets. Okay, got it. But here's where I say that we lack action, right? And let me explain what I mean. And so it's not misinterpreted. The mega statement, right, became a movement. That movement then was acted upon. And we all know what I mean when I say acted upon. And that was January 6th. Now, Mike did not condone that. And Mike ain't saying go up here and run in no Capitol building or take over any federal building or storm. That is not the bullshit I'm talking about. But I would tell you that I think some of our leaders lack the action, right? Those that have bigger platforms, bigger followings, a bigger listening following, but lack action. Lack action. You know, hey, we just lack action. And it'll be a great day when a lot of those that are in positions of power to start really utilizing that and pushing the envelope a little bit more. Now, hey, you may not agree. You may agree on what's going on right now. And this is why I don't get into politics or any of that stuff, but this is what I would say. If you don't agree with what the president is doing and you think that he is what's the word I'm looking for, is it's not constitutional is the word I'm looking for. If you think that, I wonder why some people are not talking impeachment. Because have he broken any laws? And if he has broken any laws, I wonder why people are not talking about impeachment. I mean, let's not talk about impeachment 2 years from now. Let's not talk about impeachment 6 months before he has to vacate the seat forever anyway. Right? If that's what I mean by lack of action. You know, if you, but again, this is why I say the mega movement, it depend. You can't look at just what happened. When I mean lack action, or it made action, right? It took actions, right? I'm not talking about just the January 6th. I'm talking about all the other subtle things that has started to happen, right? That's a part of all of the mega movement. Make America great again. We all know that. You know what I mean? So I just want you to understand that. Do I support what the performance was on the halftime show? Yes. But I still gave it a solid 3 out of a 10. And here's the reason how I got a solid 3 out of a 10, because it was sitting somewhere about like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. Here's where it got a 3 out of a 10. See, the friend that I'm telling you about, Keon, he had another guy, I guess a friend or associate, on his show. I mean, I'm sorry, not his show, but on his social media feed. And again, I'll address that he was talking about, all you guys wanted to see was something sexist or demonic, and again, but you never said that you didn't knock what Kendrick Lamar did that everybody was waiting on. And what's that? The diss to Drake, right? My man, hear me out. Kendrick, you won. You was on one of the biggest stages that, I believe football has surpassed baseball, definitely surpassed basketball, right? So you on the biggest stage in a city that another rap icon probably could have put on the show as well, but you got chosen. And at the end, the very end, you chose to keep the beef going. You had already won, man. You already won. So you chose to keep the beef going. And we already know in the hip hop community, anybody that's even been in hip hop 5 minutes know where hip hop beef can go, right? We all know where it can go. But just because you was on that highest stage and you chose to give the people exactly what they was waiting and looking for. They didn't even care about, most people didn't even care about the protest. They was just waiting for you to diss Drake, and you did it. Solid 3 out of a 10. So Keon, show your boy this part of my episode why I just broke that down, why he gets a solid 3 out of a 10. And if your boy, he part of that, no, I'm not even gonna go there, but maybe he get a better understanding of why I gave it a solid 3 out of a 10 with that explanation. It was too much to type on social media, so it's better to say it and then cut this clip out and show him why I gave it a solid 3 out of a 10. If you agree, you agree. If you liked it, you liked it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say I didn't like it. I said I just didn't agree at the end of how he waited to the end, and we supposed to have been standing up for something, and you still took a shot at a guy. It totally defeated the purpose. A lot of people miss that. Keon, your friend, is one of those guys that totally missed it. because he was off talking about something totally different of what everybody wanted to see. And everybody wanted to see Kendrick diss Lamar. Golly. Kendrick diss Drake, and he gave them what they wanted at the end. So the protests and all of that, and Samuel Jackson, don't even matter, man. There you go. Take how you want, buddy. But hey, who am I? You know what I mean? Who am I? I'm just Mike, somebody on the mic telling stories and sharing some time with you. Try to cut your commute down to work. All right? So, hey, let me say this to this last not sponsor. See, I'm about to mess up again. This last not last, but one the other small business owner. Solace Embrace Massage Therapy is a mobile massage therapist that specializes in pregnancy, sports, and just relaxation massages. They are currently exclusive online, and they will come to you and provide those services for you. You can find them at SolaceEmbraceMassageTherapy.com. Again, Solace Embrace Massage Therapy. And again, hey, if you're an expectant mother, athlete training, or athlete recovering, or just want to relax and massage, Solace Embrace Massage Therapy will take care of you. Again, you can find them online. All right, man, let's get into, man, this gonna be, y'all gonna like this one, man. This particular story from the life and time of Mike Lowry. All of my stories are personal. You know what I mean? They're very, very personal to me. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to line up your outgoing music, and hopefully I get that right. You know, hopefully everything goes right. But anyway, all right. So, checked and chastised, right? Checked and chastised in the same conversation by old head. And when I refer to this old head, I'm some people know one nickname, and you really had to know him to know this nickname. And I'm gonna call him Bud, right? That's it. Can't get the other nickname, because you're gonna know. For those that were around that time, they're gonna know exactly who he is. And I ain't talked to old head in a while. Well, no, I did talk to him about a year ago, but this story that just came up, so I didn't get clearance to utilize his name, his nickname. So I'm gonna call him Bud. And if you know who I'm talking about, then you're gonna know this story is very, very accurate, very real. So one day, I'm at the Berkeley Park, and it's kind of it's summertime, and it's getting a little late in the evening or whatever, like the sun going down a little bit. So I'm about to make my way to the O end, right? So usually I'll cut back up to the park and probably go down Berkeley Avenue. Well, this day I went down Walker Avenue because I was on that side of the park. I was on the Walker Avenue side, right there by Southern Terrace. Something it's not Southern, but similar Terrace, right? So I'm walking up the block, right? I get to the corner of Rockingham and where the gray apartments are. Everybody, you got, if I say the gray apartments and you from my neighborhood, then you know exactly where corner I'm on. And you know who was down there. Old heads. Just letting you know, they were old heads down there. Young boys did not go on this block, on this particular block, to do absolutely nothing but possibly pass through, right? And that's what I was doing. But I had noticed a car that looked very, very familiar, right? So I'm walking a little bit up Rockingham, and I'm going towards Berkeley Avenue. And I'm gonna make y'all think, for those that claim to be from Berkeley and all of that. I'm I'm going to tell you something that was there, and then we'll see if it jogged your memory. But so I'm making my way, and then, I'm kind of, I know what go on Walker Avenue and Rockingham. And you just got to know what go on at the Gray Apartments, right? So I noticed who was inside is a good friend of mine from another city, right? And I'm looking, I was like, yo, I'm not going to say his name because I'm not going to say his name, right? Just a good friend of mine from another city. So when I get up there, I say, hey, Mr. Such and Such, what's going on? He's like, Mike, what you doing out here? I was like, Mr. J, I'm from out here, right? You know what I'm saying? My grandma live up the block, right? He was like, yeah, you doing good? You taking care of yourself? I'm like, yes, sir. I said, you doing good? He said, yeah, I'm doing good. He said, man, you still playing ball? Like, yeah, I'm still playing ball every chance I get. He said, that's good. I'm glad you're taking care of yourself, man. And then out the corner of my eye, I see this guy kind of coming up towards me. He was like, hey, Mike, pardon me for a minute. You know what I mean? I'll holler at you another time. So, dude that come past me, I'm telling you his name, right? His name, I'm gonna tell you his name was, no. Let's just say his name was Ike. It rhymed with something else, and most people know who I'm talking about. I feel strongly, whatever. But his name, let's just go with Ike, right? So Ike walked past me. Next thing I know, I see an exchange. You know what I mean? I know what's going. I see what's going on now. You know what I mean? So he gets served. My friend's father gets served. He pulls off. So my man Ike, he knows me, but he a little older than me. Ike and them old heads down that block at least got 10 years on us young boys, right? So if I'm about 16 at the time, them boys was at least 25, 26, 28, something like that on that block. They were old. For us, they were older, you know what I mean? And we just called them old heads, you know what I mean? So Ike standing there and he counting his money, right? So y'all know, what just took place. So I say, hey man, next time he come through here, you know what I mean? Hey, wave him off, man. Do me a favor, wave him off. Ike looked at me and just kind of one of those. I say, Ike, next time he come through here, wave him off. Don't serve him. Now, Ike won't giving me no kind of like anything. Like he wasn't even like at all giving me any kind of like attention. And then when he saw me standing there, I had a clear shot at his chin, right? Because I'm standing on the side of him, and he counting his money. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. Ike probably had, at that time, man, you talking about me, I was probably 125, if that. And Ike was probably somewhere about 200. You know what I mean? So he had some weight on me. But I'm gonna get this. I'm thinking I'm gonna get this one off if he say something. But again, he got that much weight on me, and he got about 10, 12 years on me, right? So, nonetheless, right? I'm feeling myself obviously, right, and not in the right mindset, but in my mind, I'm just asking, you know what I mean? But I guess my aggression in my voice was saying something different. You know what I mean? So I say, Mike, you lost your motherfucking mind, man. You ain't gonna never tell me how to hustle out here in these streets, man. What's wrong with you? And when he squared off on me, I didn't back down or nothing. But in hindsight of what I can rationalize today, being older and mature, I'm looking at him in his eyes. And he looked over my shoulder. He's looking past me. Who's behind me? It's Bud. Now, I have no idea what him and Bud had going on, right? But I can in my mature mind, I believe Bud was standing behind me up against the fence where he usually was, sipping his biz, doing his thing, right? And I think he shook his head like, he ain't worth it, right? Or just don't, man. He too young, right? He don't know no better, right? So when I looked back at me, his eyes, you can tell when somebody look past you and then look back at you, right? He just said, Mike, fuck you, man, and walked off. So before I stepped, I heard old head say, Mike, come here. Come here, Mike. Now, anybody that know who I'm talking about, when I say his nickname is Bud, y'all know old head had good hands. Old head was known to have some really good hands. So old head said, walk with me. So we started walking. Here's your landmark, right? For those that want to claim they from Berkeley, right? So way back in the day, there was a train track that ran parallel or right in between Walker Avenue and Berkeley Avenue. And that train track ran all the way through where the Farm Fresh is and all the way back the other way into Chesapeake, right? It divided the hikes and similar turns, right? And it ran right through the Berkeley Park, right where that softball field, that's where the train tracks went through. If you don't know that or have that visual in your head, stop telling me you from Berkeley. Stop telling people you from Berkeley if you can't tell me where the train tracks were. It is what it is, right? Any old head to tell you, goddamn, Mike, you goddamn right. Anybody that was around at that time, they know where them train tracks was at. And now they're no longer there, right? So old head is walking me up towards the what used to be the train track. Now it's just the road that go up and over, right? And over to Berkeley Avenue. Old head said straight up, Mike, you out of pocket, man. You out of pocket. And I know you know that. He said, man, who that guy to you? You know what I'm saying? What's he to you? I said, man, that's a friend of mine from out the way, right? He said, oh yeah? He said, so you willing to fight 2 times a day for 7 days a week? I said, and I gave him a funny look. He said, Mike, that guy in that car is a 2-a-day customer. He come through here twice a day, 7 days a week. He come through here twice a day, 7 days a week. That's 2 fights a day. That's 14 fights a week. You ready for that? I ain't say nothing. He said, no, you ain't ready for that. You not, man. He said, how many of your other friends out here, peoples get high? You say something to them? You say something to all your friends, people? I said, man, he said, no, you don't, man. You out of pocket. You out of line, man. He said, furthermore, you know I known you since you was youngin'. He said, man, you got an uncle that pray 5 times a day, get high 5 times a day. I'ma say it again. You got an uncle that pray 5 times a day, get high 5 times a day. And you ain't never told nobody not to serve him. You know why? Because he'll tell you, mind your motherfucking business. What makes you think that man ain't telling you the same thing? You out of line, man. You way out of line. And before I could say something, I went to say something. He said, nah. He said, let what I just told you sink in. Because you smart like that. Let what I just said to you sink in. You smart like that, man. Old head extended his hand, dapped me up, and I went on my way with a lesson. The old saying, mind your business and move on. So that day I got checked and chastised, all in the same conversation. So that's your story from the life and times of Mike Lowry, man. So hopefully you liked it. You know what I mean? You got some out of it. Maybe you laughing because you know who Ike is, but his name is not Ike, but it rhymed with Ike. And for those that know Bud, old head was definitely good with his hands, and I knew that. So yeah, I didn't want to get two-pieced. You know what I'm saying? So I listened to what old head said. I respected it. You know what I'm saying? Because it could have went another way. You know what I mean? It could have really went another way. And in hindsight, when I think back on it, I could have been working for old head, Bud, and I'm interfering. That's mature Mike talking. Immature Mike was not even thinking. I'm just being honest. It could have went a totally different way if old head wasn't there, and if old head didn't know me and didn't take the time. You know what I mean? And a lot of people know who I'm talking about and that crew that was in and around the Gray Apartments. You know what I mean? We don't condone to highlight anything out there, but you know your environment is something that you got to respect. In the moment that you don't respect your environment, no matter what environment you grew up in, it can be detrimental to you. So it doesn't matter if you live in the suburbs, don't matter if you live in the inner city. If you don't respect those surroundings, man, it can catch up with you. You know, so. But yeah, that is the story from the life of times of Mike Laurie. That is that. We're about to wrap up this episode. I hope that you really enjoyed it. You know what I mean? I enjoy doing these episodes. I enjoy doing this podcast, man. I love the feedback that I'm getting. Keep giving it to me, man, and I'm gonna try to keep doing it better. And again, I got people lined up to come on this on with me. They may not be here physically with me, but the way I done worked it out, man, they're gonna be able to call in. You can be able to see them. You can hear the whole conversation. I got some funny stories with one of my cousins that's gonna come up here with me, man, and we're gonna talk about another one of my cousins that everybody think is squeaky clean. Nah, man, I'm about to tell him something he didn't even know. But you know, hey, man, but I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man, and I look forward to, you know, talking to you guys, or those that's going to join me on the show. I look forward to that, and I look forward to doing more episodes. So for all those that grew up on 4 chicken wings and rice and 40 ounce and a nickel bag to get nice, this MIC757 saying good night.
Through the turbulence of life. See, in order to be who you are, you got to know who you are. And in order to get to where you want to go, you got to know from which you came. See, it was Malcolm X who said, a man who doesn't have nothing to stand up for, or fall for any goddamn thing.
Down my face drop tears, it's like nobody cares, I swear, life ain't fair, sometimes I wanna disappear, only blase blind got mad gray hairs, I'm a young old man, what part of shit is real, don't you understand, twin got murdered, caught one to the temple, you ain't been what I've been through, can it be oh so simple, I got bad nerves, it's absurd, I'm disturbed, so I suggest you watch the words that you blurb out your mouth, or it'll be a shootout, I leave you stretched out, I'm thugged inside and out, and it ain't by choice, I'm screaming out loud for love. Do anybody hear my voice? Pardon the noise. I'm just a black ghetto boy, went through the rain and pain, with the sunshine and joy. I can't seem to find it. Trapped in the black cloud, watching my life go down. To hide the suffering, I smile.
Running these streets can be so trying, these trying times. Man, child in the promised land, who of you will understand? Running these streets can be so trying, these trying times. Man, child in the promised land. Hey.
My
aunt died from AIDS, I watched her deteriorate. She told me fucking with drugs was the biggest mistake. Put my mom's onto it, sticking needles in her veins. Being sons of addicts drove me and Kane insane. We packed bags at Pathmark. We both humped Tamika. We used to go to the pool just to steal kids' sneakers. Rock cut off beavers, wore old clothes for Easter. Shit was so real, we had to split a slice of pizza. I was born at 6 months, damn, premature. My mom's birthed a thug like a Feeny Shakur. I'm surprised I ain't crazy from the bug shit I saw. I caught my mother buying crack on the first floor before. I never thought I'd be in a cell smoking a Newport with all sorts of thoughts running through my mind. No, I ain't leaving court, DA talking jail time. Glanced at my mom's eyes, she looking like she wanna cry.
Running these streets can be so trying, these trying times. Man, child in the promised land, who of you will understand? Running these streets can be so trying, these trying times. Man, child in the promised land.
They say I'm an accident waiting to happen, G. Been saying from the first floor, said she gon' pray for me. She had a bad dream that they murdered me. I said, miss, truthfully, I don't believe in dreams. Hope is miles away from where I stay. Who knows the way? Should I pay for the direction? My whole family's in correction. Fake friends half-stepping, I'm stressing. Answer question, can I trust you? Huh? Then I love you. Yeah, not straight up and down.